Now that story by Sarah Adams sets the pace for our discussion, and I'm glad to be joined by Washington Degea. He's the chairman of Bima Intermediaries Association of Kenya. Karibu sana to the studio.
Thanks, Tony.
Let's pick this story from, this discussion rather, from that story by Sarah.
Yeah.
Is it factual reporting on the situation and how things are right now?
It's very true. Actually, you've just heard what the CEO of AKI, Association of Kenya Insurance, has said. Yes. That brokers pay, brokers are part of the intermediaries. Remember, intermediaries are two. We have brokers and insurance agents. Mm-hmm. Insurance agents are the most. There are over 10,000 insurance agents in Kenya doing insurance business. The brokers are just about 200. Now, in terms of volumes, also agents do massive volumes, so to speak. But you find in the industry, brokers, insurance brokers pay a lot of, they owe insurance companies a lot of premiums. That's where the bone of contention is.
Right. So that's pretty much where this this amendment is coming from, because agents and brokers, am I right in classifying them on the same basket?
Yeah. We are intermediaries, actually.
So you hold a lot of money and you deny the insurance companies this money, and that's why probably this amendment is coming into place.
True. Tony,
yes.
But we need to get these things in perspective. We are not getting things in perspective at all. There's the Insurance Act as it stands, Section 156, talks strictly about premiums. How premiums will be handled by insurance agents, how premiums will be handled by the brokers. And it's comprehensive in its entirety. Actually, the Insurance Act as it stands, Section 156, has 14 subsections regarding insurance handling of premiums, right? The proposal in the new amendment bill of 2018 is scrapping the whole of Section 156 and replacing it with about 6 sections.
So all these 16 sections, so to speak, are being collapsed into 6.
Yes.
What are we losing when that happens, if indeed it does come to happen?
Good question. We are losing a lot. Number one, we are killing the broker business in Kenya. Remember, brokers play a lot of, or rather intermediaries play a very, very big role in terms of insurance penetration to the insurance public. Right now, we talk about insurance penetration being about around 2.73%. That has been achieved with the current insurance agents and brokers in the field, right? And it has been achieved whereby we've been authorized. Remember, we are authorized by the insurer, who is the insurance company, to go correct premiums on their behalf and give. Now, we have where the CEO of AKI is saying that insurance companies are owed over 40 billion, right? How did that come about?
Because as my limited knowledge tells me, as a person who's seeking insurance services, then I would give you, a broker or an agent, the premium for the service that I want, and then you will sit on the money, don't take it to the insurance company.
True.
Hence, the insurance company now suffers while you, perhaps, will have the opportunity to trade with my premium.
True. And that is not very right. But remember, the Insurance Act as it stands has taken care of that. It says if you withhold the premiums, there are penalties. All right? So as we speak, there's someone who's sleeping on that job. This 40 billion was not owed over 1 year. It's not owed over 2 years. It could be running into something like decades. Right? Remember, you cannot be licensed to operate as a broker in Kenya if you owe premiums. So who's this licensing them? And they owe premiums over and over, all along. Who's this licensing?
All right. All right. We're going to get back to that in just a short while. But what I want to understand is perhaps where the government would be coming in from, because we do understand that this bill is being brought by Treasury.
Yeah.
And from where I sit, I know the government would only institute legislation either to collect extra revenue or to protect the mwananchi.
Yes.
Now, this particular legislation, where does it fit in? I think because it's not asking me to pay some taxes, it is meant to protect me from you.
That's right.
Is that the case?
And there are already laws, Tony, that protects you, the consumer of insurance, as we speak, in the current Insurance Act. There are already laws protecting you. If I collect, for example, if I collect premiums from you and I don't pay, Tony, I cannot have my license renewed, and I'm supposed to pay back the money, actually. That's what I'm saying. How is it that I owe money and I'm still getting licensed over the years?
Right. I want to use an example of motor vehicle insurance, because that's what many people would relate to.
Yeah, yeah.
You get an insurance cover, a comprehensive insurance cover. Say you pay about 200,000 shillings as premium, and I pay that to a broker.
Yeah.
Then the unscrupulous broker, because there are some nice brokers who are legit in their business, but they're unscrupulous ones. So I'm giving him 200,000 shillings, and then he goes to the insurance company and gets me a third-party insurance sticker.
Yep.
And because I am not familiar of how these things trade, that whole year I am using a third-party insurance, which is about 4,000 shillings, 5,000 shillings, and I pay 200,000 shillings, while the broker is crossing his fingers that I do not have an accident.
True.
Then I have an accident. I cannot be compensated. Isn't that the reason why this law is being put in place?
Well, there's one thing I can tell you, Tony. I think we need to get to the basics of let's get rid of the rotten apples. That's where the buck stops. It doesn't come by criminalizing the whole broker business and killing the broking insurance business in Kenya, because that's literally killing it. The proposals are talking about you, Tony, now. If you get me, if I get you as a client, then I expect you to go to the insurance company to go and pay. I'm not supposed to handle the premiums, so to speak, right? As a busy man as you, when will you ever get your insurance? If you don't depend upon me to go get the cover for you, right? Number two, what makes you think that going to the insurance company, you won't get shortchanged again with a 200K? You don't know that.
I don't think they will shortchange me. I run the risk of being shortchanged more by you than the insurance company. My thinking, I don't know, I could be wrong.
Well, the whole Section 156 is all about premiums collection, but there's also a section that deals with fraud. That is actually part of fraud, you know? And fraud, when you look at fraud, is perpetrated more. You cannot commit fraud without people inside the company helping you do it. As an outsider, as an intermediary, you cannot commit fraud without an insider in there.
All right. Now, Tom Bishu, he says he kind of supports this bill that is in first reading. It's gone through first reading, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He kind of supports it. So that means he feels that insurance companies can indeed survive without brokers and agents. Is that the case?
They cannot survive. As we speak right now, there's something we say about insurance. Insurance is not bought, it's sold. No one will come out of the bush and enter into an insurance company looking for insurance cover. We have to get to them and sell to them, we as intermediaries, right? So I can guarantee you, let it happen, and let's see how penetration is going to be achieved. That's not the way to do actual penetration in this country. That's not even how to handle this proposal about insurance premiums. First of all, let's tighten the screws on premiums handling. That's where you should have started.
You're talking a lot about penetration, but even then you, brokers and agents, you're not doing a very good job, because other than motor vehicle insurance, which is compulsory, these other types of insurance like life
Medical.
and health, the penetration is about 3%, if my statistics are right.
Well, yeah, penetration is down, but you see, penetration is taken in context, taking a lot. It's not just about motor, so to speak, like you're saying. There are very many other different classes. And for penetration like now, we've done a proposal to Parliament, because what you should be looking at is penetration and confidence in the sector, in the insurance sector, right? Now, when we come with an association like what we have right now, Bima Intermediaries Association of Kenya. It's all about bringing in confidence into the insurance sector, trying to get every insurance agent on board and accountable to a body. Because as we speak, no one is accountable anywhere. And there are very, very many rogue agents in this country. They are the ones who are spoiling the name of the industry, and they're actually the ones who are making even these kind of proposals come into play.
And that's because probably you've been unable to self-regulate, so hence you're not able to inspire confidence to people like myself who would want to come for insurance. Is that the case?
True. You see,
so then you're to blame for what's happening to you guys.
Not really, Tony, because this association is still very, very young. You know, there are several steps we've taken for empowerment, so to speak. We would like to be empowered more, especially by the regulator. Way back in 2014, we approached IRA, Insurance Regulatory Authority, and we told them, can you give us teeth to bite? Can you help the industry get rid of the rogue agents? Because we knew them, they're everywhere, and they're in their thousands. You know? But these people are able to operate in the industry, moving from one company to another, and I mean, it's not, for example, like my work, to start reporting people. That guy did this, that guy did this. I mean, I'm an insurance broker, I need to do my work. But through an association like this, we can vet the proper insurance intermediaries in the field, insurance agents, such that we are left, and if anyone else misbehaves, they're accountable to the association. If IRA gave us teeth to do that, we'll not be even to be talking something like this.
Right. Now, someone is clearly moving your cheese. How are you going to react to that and make sure you survive?
The thing is, Tony, this thing is being done wrongly. It's going to affect everyone in the field. Number one, it's going to affect the broker business. You've got to understand, brokers and insurance intermediaries, brokers agents, we play a very, very big role in advising clients the kind of covers to take. And we take time with you. I come to your office, I take time with you, an hour, 2 hours. Tell me, come back tomorrow, I come back tomorrow. You've had experiences of insurance agents. Tell me to come back next week, he'll come back next week, right? I mean, they're patient like that. That's how penetration has been achieved so far. Because you got to understand, insurance is very, very technical. It's very, very technical. People think it's just motor, you take a cover and you go. But there's so many other things that come to insurance. That's why it takes time for someone even to buy a single cover. You know? Now, if you expect these guys to go to the office, to an insurance company, who is that who has that time? I mean, how many people do you expect to be going to insurance companies to get that advice?
All right. But are you taking this plea probably to Parliament? Are you addressing them? Are you telling them, hang on a minute, this legislation is wrong, we propose 1, 2, 3, 4 things?
Yes, Tony, we've already done that. We actually did a memorandum here to Parliament, and we're explaining it in detail now, what exactly should be looked at. Because we feel whatever is being peddled right now, the Treasury must have gotten this thing very, very wrong. They've scrapped a whole section 156 with very, very good proposals. I mean, something that has been working for us for so many years, for the last 10 years, right? Now, they're bringing in something that's even bringing distrust into the insurance industry. You know? Tony, for example, I've been in the insurance industry for over 15 years, right? I've built clients over time. They trust me explicitly with their commissions and everything. All of a sudden, my client is being told, go and pay to the insurance company. You're already introducing mistrust and distrust into the whole equation. So the next thing is, Washington, if I have to go to the insurance company, I don't know them, I don't trust them. I would rather, let me leave it alone. It's not going to be good for the insurance industry. That I can tell you.
Right. Washington, asante sana for your time. We could continue with this conversation for minutes and hours, but let's leave it at that for now.
Thanks,
Thank you very much for coming to talk to us.
Thanks, John.